Hey, welcome! Today, we're diving into something that feels like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's very, very real. We're talking about personal AI agents, an AI that can literally take over your computer to get things done for you. So, let's get into it and explore how this new superpower actually works. I want you to just picture this for a minute. You're out, maybe grabbing coffee, you send a quick text from your phone, and back home, your computer just wakes up. It starts browsing the web, opening apps, and finishing tasks you gave it. This isn't some movie plot. This is what tools like OpenClaw are making possible, right now.
I mean, just think about the possibilities here. Your weekly grocery run? Done, automatically. You need to research some super complex topic for work? It can do that and just give you the summary. It could even manage your social media posts for you. This is the kind of real-world power we're about to unpack.
So how do we get from this cool idea to, it actually working? Well, it all starts with a brand new kind of tool, a framework for building your very own personal AI assistant.
And that tool, the one at the heart of all this, is called OpenClaw. It's an open source project which is awesome, and it gives you everything you need to build your own AI agent. Think of it less like a chatbot you talk to and more like your own personal Jarvis from Iron Man, ready to take on whatever you throw at it.
But how does it do all this stuff, right? I mean, how do you teach an AI to browse a website or use an app? Well, the secret is actually in a really clever and surprisingly simple concept.
The entire system, its whole foundation, is built on this one idea called skills. And this is really the key to understanding how you can make your agent do just about anything you can imagine.
Okay, now this is where it gets really cool. So in the old days of software, if you wanted to add a new feature, you had to write a bunch of complicated code. It was rigid, it was complex. OpenClaw just completely flips that on its head. Skills are like apps for your AI. But here's the kicker. They're written in plain English. I mean, think about that. You don't need to be a programmer anymore to teach your AI a new trick. It just completely opens this up to everybody.
Of course, anytime you're talking about this much power, you have to talk about responsibility. I mean, giving an AI control over your computer is a huge deal, and it's absolutely crucial to understand the choices you have and, more importantly, the risks involved.
So you basically have two ways to go. The first is using a cloud service. It's super easy, like a one-click setup. And it's secure because it runs in what's called a sandbox, a safe little box where the AI can't mess with your actual computer. Or you can install it locally, right on your own machine. Now, this is a bit more complex, but it unleashes the full raw power of the agent. The trade-off, it is much riskier.
And listen, don't just take my word for it. The developers put this warning right there in the instructions. When you run this on your own computer, you're giving an AI the keys to the kingdom. It can read your personal files, it can run commands. So let me be clear. If you go the local route, you have to know what you're doing and accept those risks.
Okay, enough with the scary stuff. With all those warnings out of the way, let's get to the fun part and see what this power actually looks like. We're going to walk through a real-world example and see this agent's intelligence in action.
So check this out. In this test, the agent was given a simple task. Find the top 3 cooking posts on Reddit. Easy, right? Well, its first search brought up a bunch of political stuff that had nothing to do with cooking. Now, an old, dumb bot would have just given you those junk results. But OpenClaw's agent showed actual reasoning. It saw the results were wrong. And then, all by itself, it navigated directly to the r/cooking subreddit to find what the user really wanted. That's the difference between just following orders and actually understanding intent.
All right, that was pretty cool, right? But that's just browsing. What happens when there are real-world consequences? Like spending actual money. Let's see how the agent handles an online order.
The agent was told to order 2 packs of chewing gum. And it did great. It went to the right website, it found the gum, it added 2 of them to the cart. But this next part is the most important thing. When it got to the final checkout page, it stopped. It literally paused and sent a message back to the user asking for a final yes before it touched anything related to payment. That built-in safety net is absolutely critical. So, I know what you're probably wondering. This all sounds amazing, but what's it gonna cost me? Well, if you're using one of the big, powerful AI models for a few hours a day, you're looking at around $5 to $10. So yeah, it's not free, but when you think about what it can do, it's really not that expensive either.
Now, if you're thinking, $5 to $10 a day is still a bit much, there is another way, but it's for the more tech-savvy folks. You can use a tool called Ollama to run powerful open-source models right on your own computer. So if you've got a beefy machine, you could get all this incredible power for basically nothing.
So when you take a step back and look at all this, it's pretty clear this is way more than just a cool new toy. This feels like a fundamental change in how we're going to interact with our computers. So what does this mean for all of us, for our jobs, for our economy?
Well, we're talking about a future with completely new jobs, like freelance OpenClaw implementers who help people automate their lives. You might even see banks create special agent cards just for AI transactions. And on a more personal level, imagine an assistant that learns you so well it builds a whole knowledge graph of your interests, becoming this truly hyper-personalized sidekick.
So whether it's just handling your boring errands or becoming this incredible research partner, the possibilities are just mind-boggling. The tech is here and it's getting easier to use every single day. So the real question isn't if this is coming, but what's the first thing you're going to ask your agent to do?